favorite memory was learning to ride a bike, and my dad took us up to the high school parking lot, and he would hold on to the back of the bike and keeping me steady and encouraging me. And I was scared. I was used to my training wheels, and I'm like, Dad, don't let go, don't let go. I'm like, I can't do it. And all of a sudden I realized he's 500 feet back, hands on his hips, just laughing at me.
When I was about 15 and a half, my best friend and I would ride our bicycles every day, and we would often take long trips, 5 or 10 miles in the summertime. And when I was, just before I got my driver's license, I remember my grandfather was very sick in the hospital, and the only way I could get to see him was to ride my bike, because I wanted to go by myself. I didn't want to ask my parents to take me. So I rode my bicycle 10 miles to Greenwich to the hospital to see him, and I still remember just exactly how he looked laying in the bed. And he never did wake up, and I was always so glad that I went before it was too late and I got to see him.
My most distinct memory of a bicycle from childhood was when my mother found me hiding behind the garage door. I was 5 years old, and I was crying because I was so embarrassed of what had happened. I had just learned to ride a bike perhaps a few months prior to that, and had been able to balance on a bike and go forward on the bike. Stopping wasn't my strong suit yet, and had come up behind a little old lady who was in her 60s or early 70s, and had been slowly shuffling down the public sidewalk with several bags of groceries in each hand, and I was frantically ringing my bell, which in my mind meant that anyone should know that they had to get out of the way, but she never heard the bell. And the first that she had become aware of me was when I ran straight into her backside, and the poor thing ended up having to sit down on my fender as she and I went careening off onto the shoulder. And I was only 5 years old. I got away with most other things because I was so cute. She actually didn't think I was cute, and, well, that's my most...
So my memory is when I was a young kid with a bunch of friends in the neighborhood, we used to have these races around our house. And we would have a bunch of kids, some on tricycles, some on bicycles, maybe 5, 6 kids, and it was like a gladiator race. And we'd race the outside of the house, and you'd hit dirt, and you'd be on bricks, and then there was this one famous turn at the end of the race, and you'd have to turn a left-hand 90-degree turn, and there was a tree and a fence. So only 1 or 2 people could get through it, so there was this mad rush for that last corner, and whoever made the corner, and usually was able to just gun it home. And if you didn't make the corner, you ended up in a pile. And sometimes it hurt, but normally you were just frustrated and dirty and full of mud and wondering how you're going to do better next time. But anyway, that's my memory of these wild...
I can remember when I was 10 years old, I learned how to ride my bicycle at my grandfather's farm. And it actually wasn't my bicycle, it was my aunt's bicycle. And then my birthday was about 5 months later, and on my birthday, I got that very same bicycle, only it was completely repainted and cleaned up and looked like it was brand new, and I just loved it. And I thought my father had done all that work, and I found out just a year ago, and mind you, I'm in my 50s now, that it was actually my grandfather who did all the work, and he never told me, and I never got to thank him.